Hello, everyone, and welcome to this latest Mastering Life Shorts webinar. Today, we're going to be talking about self-image. Now, before we go further, I'd question you, do you believe the following statements? First of all, I can cope with the basic challenges in life. Now, it has to be said, if you can't cope with the basic challenges in life, and maybe this isn't the webinar for you, maybe you need some professional help from a doctor or a counselor. Secondly, do you trust your own mind? Again, if you don't trust your own mind, then maybe this is a little bit too on the surface. You need to be going deeply with someone who can really help you with that. However, assuming that you're still here, do you have the right to be successful and happy? Are you worthy and deserving? Are you entitled to assert your own needs and wants? And if the answer to any of the last three is maybe, or under some circumstances, then maybe we need to work on your self-image. If you said yes to all three of them, that's great, and we can just take your self-image a little bit further. Now, the first thing I would like you to do, as I said in the run-up to this, please bring a pen and paper, and I would like you to draw a stick figure on a piece of paper and then write some words and phrases to describe yourself around that stick figure. I'm going to give you a minute. If you're just sitting there and watching this and not doing this, then at the very least, start thinking about the words and phrases that you would be using. Let's write them all down. Okay, right. So hopefully you've got a list of different things that you think about yourself. That is the beginning of your self-image, and we'll start to unpick that. Now, what I'm going to show you now is a 3-minute commercial that Dove made a few years back. This is based on physical self-image of some women in this advertisement. However, I think you might start to see that this could equally be used to talk about mental self-image. So even if you didn't describe your physical nature and you described your mental state or your abilities or your skills, then I'd see how that goes when you filter it like this video does. So I'm going to turn my video off for a second and play this one.
I'm a forensic artist, worked for the San Jose Police Department from 1995 to 2011.
I showed up to a place I'd never been, and there was a guy with a drafting board.
We couldn't see them, they couldn't see us.
Tell me about your hair.
I didn't know what he was doing, but then I could tell after several questions that he was drawing me.
Tell me about your chin.
It kind of protrudes a little bit, especially when I smile.
Your jaw.
My mom told me I had a big jaw.
What would be your most prominent feature?
Kind of have a fat, rounder face.
The older I've gotten, the more freckles I've gotten.
I would say I have a pretty big forehead.
Once I get a sketch, I say thank you very much, and then they leave. I don't see them.
All I had been told before the sketch was to get friendly with this other woman, Chloe.
Today I'm going to ask you some questions about a person you met earlier, and I'm going to ask you some general questions about their face.
She was thin, so you could see her cheekbones. And her chin
It was a nice, thin chin.
She had nice eyes. They lit up when she spoke.
Cute nose.
She had blue eyes, very nice blue eyes.
So here we are. This is the sketch that you helped me create, and that's a sketch that somebody described of you.
So yeah, that's...
She looks closed off and fatter, sadder too. The second one looks more open, friendly, and happy.
I should be more grateful of my natural beauty. It impacts the choices and the friends that we make, the jobs we apply for, how we treat our children. It impacts everything. It couldn't be more critical to your happiness.
Do you think you're more beautiful than you say?
Yeah. Yeah.
We spend a lot of time as women analyzing and trying to fix the things that aren't quite right. And we should spend more time appreciating the things that we do like.
Okay, so that's a really powerful video about body image. However, I wonder if your best friend would describe you, how would the description be different from the one that you wrote down just now? And I'm pretty sure that you probably wrote down a load of negative things or hid or downgraded some of the positive things about you because we don't see ourselves as that. But there's more than this in self-image. So after 7 minutes of webinar, I'm finally going to tell you what self-image actually means. But before we go there, when do you become a writer? So, okay, can you legitimately say that you're a writer when your book appears in a library or a bookshop? Or can you legitimately say you're a writer, at a cocktail party, maybe when you introduce yourself? Hello, what do you do? I'm a writer. Is that when your first draft of the book arrives at your editors? Or could you legitimately say that you're a writer when you finish your first book, whether you send it to an editor or not? Or could you just say you're a writer when you first start writing a book? Or could you say you're a writer when you first decide that you're going to become a writer? So arguably, all of those answers are correct and valid in one way or another. Maybe you would only say that you're a writer when that's what you made the most amount of money out of. But surely you're writing, therefore you're a writer if you're at least sitting at a computer writing a book. But you have to decide to get there. Now, you may not know, I also do hypnosis, and one of the things about that is used often in hypnosis is smoking cessation. And that's actually done in one session. The point is, you're either a smoker or a non-smoker, and you have to believe that you're a non-smoker when you walk out the door, because there is no partial smoker in order to stop smoking. In exactly the same way, you have to decide you're a writer if you're going to put aside the time to write. And you can say the same for everything in your life. So what is self-image? Finally, we get there. It's a subconscious framework for how you see life and reality and what you think is true and possible. And I think that last word is the absolute key to this whole thing. If you don't think that something is possible in you, from you, then it's never going to happen. So think about all the things you want to be, and then decide if you truly think that they are possible for you. Now, red flags for why, when we stop ourselves from believing in possibilities for who we could become are things like these words or phrases. Always. I am always extroverted. Really? Are you always extroverted? Or now and then do you like sitting down on your own in a dark room, just keeping away from everyone? Likewise, are you always introverted? No, probably not. We'll talk about that next webinar. That's just the way I am. It's just the way I am. My body isn't built so I can run. Really? Or is it that you haven't decided you're going to become a runner? I'm just naturally unable or able to do something. I'm naturally unable to sing. My vocal cords just can't sing a tune. Really? Or is it you haven't tried and you haven't got the right instruction in order to do that? I'm naturally not a manager. It doesn't come naturally to me. Really? Or maybe you could help yourself become a manager. Genetically, my voice is just too high pitched to be seen with any any confidence. I don't sound good in presentations. Really, I'm undeserving of love. Absolutely untrue. All of those things are red flags for you're trying to self-sabotage. If you use any of those to stop yourself getting to something that's possible, then it's coming from within you. They're not true. Now, how do you put this into practice? So this is the key. If I believe I can be something, then all I need to do is pretend I can be that. The amazing thing is, if you pretend to be that, then other people will start to act like you are that, and you will become that. And then it will become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it will build up and build up as you get into positive feedback loops. So, for example, I believe I can be fitter. If I believe I can be fitter, then I start to pretend that I'm someone who's fit. So someone who's fit, I can think about what they'd be like. They would eat in a certain way. They would act in a certain way. They would go to the gym or go for a run in certain times. They would get certain amounts of sleep. If I pretend that I can be fitter, so I act like I'm someone who's fitter, I will immediately see the results of my actions, or after a while, I'll start to see the results of my actions. I will then naturally become fitter, and then you can get further and further around that circle. So if you can't get off the sofa at the moment and you start to go for a walk, then you're acting like someone who's a little bit fitter than you already are. You see the results, you're able to maybe jog or do some weights at the gym or whatever it is in order to become fitter and fitter and fitter. Great for something physical. How does that work for something like becoming a manager? Well, if I believe I can be a better manager, if I pretend to be a better manager, the key is I need to find a role model. I think this person is a great manager. I want to act like them. I want to speak in the way they speak. I want to walk in the way they walk. I want to embody that person. If I act like that, then people will see me as a better manager, and they'll start responding to me in a way as a better manager. And funnily, I'll become a better manager because I will be a better manager. I've spoken to people who say that at work, they're a bit too friendly with the people that they work with. If they know that a better manager wouldn't be so friendly and be a bit more focused on the task at hand. If they start pretending that they're more focused on the task at hand and less interested in the people or less focused on the people they're managing and their feelings, then actually you become a better task-focused manager, and it will get better and better, and people will see you in different ways. And it really, really works. Fake it until you make it. Now, to help you with this, as always, I've put together a worksheet. Get it from my website, englishleathermaster.com/mastering-life-shorts. The password for today is confidence with a capital C. That leads you through a series of tasks that you can do. First of all, it starts off with the same task you've done already to look at the stick figure and what attributes you have. And then it starts to think about where you want to be. It will focus on one particular thing that would be a real change to you, and confidence might be an example. So then you start to think about that one thing, and then you can start to act in that way, and you will become better. So I wish you luck with that. I'm taking a week off next week. I'm taking a holiday, but the webinar after that, the week after that, will be on personality. And believe it or not, here's the key to the whole thing. All those personality tests that you've done at work, whether they're Myers-Briggs or DISC or 5 colors or Enneagram, they lied. Your personality can change, and we'll be talking about that in 2 weeks' time. If you've got any questions, then feel free to put them in the chat box. Otherwise, I'm really looking forward to seeing you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you very much.